What's up, family? It's a relaxing, this nice, cold winter night here in the ATL. I decided to go because of a video on Lake Lanier, the history of Lake Lanier. If you never heard about it before, you know about Tasco, Oklahoma, and Black Wall Street. This is Lake Lanier, a black thriving town back in the day. People, black folks, are living good. White folks didn't like it, and really do to flood the whole town. The flood the whole town. No, the town is now called Lake Lanier. Anyway, folks, check it out, subscribe, share the video, thumbs up, leave a comment. Hang on, folks.
Too, and it's the same story, but we got different details. And it's about Oscarville, Georgia. Just listen to us.
Have y'all ever heard of Oscarville, Georgia? Well, what if I told you that Oscarville, Georgia is the most haunted location in all of America? Well, in the early 1900s, Oscarville was a thriving black town, very similar to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Well, just like Tulsa, there were some people from the other persuasion who didn't necessarily like that there were so many black folks doing so good. Oscarville, unfortunately, was located in one of the most infamous counties in all of Georgia. And if you black from Georgia, you know exactly what I mean when I say you stay the hell out of Forsyth County. In 1912, Oscarville suffered from a series of racially motivated riots. So residents were threatened to either sell their land or die. Now, the history books will tell you that the people of Oscarville were bought out of their land and they left fairly. That's a fucking lie, bro. They wiped out the entire town, destroyed it. So I know you may be asking, well, what happened to Oscarville? Where'd it go? It's still there. It's just buried underneath a 38,000-acre man-made lake called Lake Lanier, aka the real Camp Crystal Lake. First of all, since 1994 alone, there have been 200 people who have died at Lake Lanier. Most of them drowned. I think that's crazy that that's not even scratching the surface. Because ever since the lake was open, there have been a total of 700 deaths, bro. For some strange reason, people still keep going there. I don't know why. It's funny because as somebody from Georgia, we used to always say somebody should make a horror movie about Lake Lanier because clearly that shit's haunted. Just when you thought it would never happen, here comes Lanier, an independent film telling the real truth about Oscarville, Georgia, and what happened there. See, in the movie, a detective heads to the lake for a family getaway till he gets a call about a mysterious drowning. As he's learning about the history of the lake, he's real skeptical. He ain't really believing it. What's done in the dark always come to the light, and he eventually found out the truth. This movie is definitely important to the culture of Georgia, and it's important to the history of black people in this country. Y'all know Black Wall Street in Tulsa was bad. That was a terrible thing that happened, but at least people know about it. Oscarville, Georgia, no one knows. The history was buried, just like the city was, underneath the damn lake. Ask any of your friends from Georgia, they'll tell you, we don't fuck around with Lake Lanier, bro. Next time somebody brings up this lake, just remember who told you the real history about it.
Y'all ever hear of the lake that was built over a black town that is so haunted that it had over 200 deaths since 1994? And before I even start my video, don't go here trying to fuck around and find out. Only go here if you are willing to thank the spirits that's underneath this man-made lake and bring offerings. Get your popcorn. This is Lake Lanier, and it's located in Gainesville, Georgia, but it's formerly known as Oscarville, Georgia. It was formed in the late 1800s during the Reconstruction era. It was a thriving African-American town that was filled of carpenters, bricklayers, and blacksmiths, but their main moneymaker was farming. This was one of the many towns that were full of African-Americans that were thriving at this time. That is until 1912, when May Crow, a W woman, was found dead in the woods. And in true colonizer form, they blamed the African Americans for this death. They said she was murdered and raped, which is like a dog whistle back then for racist W people. So the night that she was found, this little town of Oscarville became enemy number one. They burned down the churches, unalived a lot of the townspeople, and began the deconstruction of Oscarville. Some of the descendants that did make it out of Oscarville are still alive to this day and are telling Patakis, like stories from their ancestors. After it was all said and done, they took this black town and flooded it using the Buford Dam and the Chattahoochee River. And this is where they're about to fuck around and find out. It is said that this lake is haunted. Not a little haunted. Like, do not go in this area without paying your respects or even just, like, offerings. I said at the beginning of my video, this is the last warning I'm going to give y'all. Some say that this lake was built over this town in 1956 for flood control and for drinking water, but I call it bullshit. That was done purposely. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody unalived May Crow just for all of this to happen. But I'm a conspiracy theorist, so just ignore what I say. Either way, over 700 black families died on this lake, or under it, I should say. The spirit really never dies, and spiritual reparations are real. That's why I always tell y'all to be good and do good. Drownings and motor vessel incidents are very common along this lake, meaning that you either drown when you get in that water, if your spirit ain't right, or your boat causes you to die some way, somehow, which is also just as bad. There are several bodies that were never recovered from this lake. There are talks about women in a blue dress, which is one of the most famous ghost stories. Even one of the most famous R&B singers of our time, or my time, because you know I'm a seasoned chicken, lost his stepson in these waters due
Usher.
to a
Usher.
jet ski accident.
The singer Usher.
This water is cursed. And I don't know if gender, race, or anything
Make a difference.
gives you a one-up on these waters.
No, we don't.
Either way, this lake is so haunted, I will never be visiting it. I'll go, but I'm just going to look as personal on the shore outside of the water, because I'm not trying to fuck around with nothing and find out. Y'all go ahead and leave in the comments what y'all think. What y'all think is going on with Lake Lanier, as well as your experiences. If you ever been in this water, let me know. Stay the fuck